Mark Hamill. You might know Mark Hamill from such works as Star Wars, where he played Luke Skywalker, and Big Bang Theory, where he did a cameo as Mark Hamill. What else has he done?
Let's be real, he's done pretty much all since Luke Skywalker.
Yeah. Well, anyway, Mark got real political recently. And when I say political, I mean Trump deranged.
That's just what I was going to say. Didn't he start really arcing up when Trump became president the first time around?
I'm not too sure. I wasn't following that. But I know he's been making waves this time around. Like, he was an avid tweeter. He was all over Twitter. I'm voting for her. F***ing Kamala, Kamala, Kamala. He even retweeted this. Be a man. Vote for a woman. Remember that video? I think we spoke about it. Anyway, we're not going to watch too much of that. So let's go. So anyway, Mark was real vocal before the election, even going so far as to put out this video.
Hi everybody, it's Mark Hamill here, and I'll tell you why I vote. I vote because I care about this country, and I want the very best for our country.
This video really troubles me. You know why?
Because he's got a jizz eye.
Yeah, good point. He kind of does have a jizz eye. But no, I'm referring to the fireplace. See the way he's standing, right? He's center to the frame. He's standing up. He's like on a 90-degree angle. But then that fireplace in the background, what's going on? Does he live in one of those wacky illusion houses?
Oh, I thought we were explaining jizz eye, but now that you point it out, what the hell is going on there? The camera's tilted or something.
He's got like an extreme lean. One leg shorter than the other or something.
No matter what side of the aisle you're on, if you care about climate change, if you care about a woman's right to have autonomy over her own body, whatever, you've got to make your voices heard.
Oh, if you care about this lefty thing or that lefty thing, you've got to make your voice heard. Shut up, Mark. I mean, he's taking that message of like, go and vote no matter who you support, and he's turning it into like, go and vote if you vote like me. So anyway, the election happens and Mark is bitter. So I thought we'd do like a bit of a post-mortem. Remember like the one we did with, what's her face? Rosie O'Donnell.
Ah, Rosie O'Donnell, yes, that was great, wasn't it?
Yeah, because they're kind of in the same league. He's sort of going a bit batshit too.
Not like Rosie. I mean, she was fucking talking to the squirrels.
Yeah, he's not far off though. So prior to the election, he was all over Twitter. He was all over Twitter talking about how you got to vote for Kamala and Orange Man's bad and fucking rah, 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 rah. You know, things like be a man, vote for a woman. He says here, apparently the sanitation department is now open to hiring applicants with 34 felony convictions. In 5 days, we take out the garbage.
Oh, come on. Someone photoshopped that. There is no way Trump's face is that orange. It looks like someone's photoshopped his face so that it matches the orange vest.
He says here, tomorrow. And it's got the Statue of Liberty flicking Trump. And then the election happens and he's devastated.
Oh, let's see.
So he says here, they say we get the leaders we deserve. Either that's just been disproven or this is not the America we all thought we were living in.
What's this you've tweeted at him?
Yeah, there's me in the replies saying, didn't you fuck your sister?
He didn't fuck the sister, he kissed the sister.
You sound exactly like there was this fucking Star Wars nerd who started replying to me going, oh, they actually just kissed bearing. They actually just kissed. Do you consider kissing to be fucking? I mean, like, that's the logical answer. Why wouldn't you just say it was a movie, fuckface? You know what I mean?
Was their tongue? That's what we need to know.
Anyway, he's no longer on Twitter. He's rage quit Twitter.
Yes, isn't he all about blue sky now?
He's all about blue sky. So he says here, how to cope with an increasingly turbulent world. Currently, I'm cuddling with Mabel and avoiding reality entirely.
That's him?
That's him. Yeah, he's all like frazzled and shit. So Mark's recently done a media appearance. And when I say media appearance, he went on the Politicking podcast. Have you heard of that?
No.
Yeah, neither's anyone else.
Right.
It's had 689 views in 6 days.
Does that say 17 comments?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
So this has got some black guy from California. I think he's like a sports ball player. There's some other guy who I do not give a fuck about. There's Gavin fucking Newsom. You know, Gavin Newsom is the governor of California.
Oh.
You know, what's his name? Patrick Bateman.
Oh, right.
Yeah, so it's got Mark Hamill and the governor of fucking California. And it's had 689 views in 6 days. I mean, maybe they're massive on Spotify or like Apple Podcasts or something. I don't know. But it's kind of like the, yeah, we're huge in Canada meme. Did you ever hear that?
No.
It was like a thing in the 90s and the 2000s. If you knew someone who was like in a band, maybe it's just an Australian thing, but if you knew someone who was in a band, the cope would always be like, yeah, no, sure, like only 3 people turned up to our gig, but we're huge in Canada.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, let's have a look.
What's up, Mark?
Hi guys, I'm a proud product of Oakland, California.
Actually, it looks like half of his face is sloped, not just the eye.
Maybe it's a bit of Bell's palsy or something.
Yeah, I hope he hasn't had a stroke or something.
I'm always for, resisting authority and standing up for what you believe in regardless. I mean, it was shocking to me that Colin Kaepernick suffered such consequences for express, it's his right to say what he wants.
So he's always been for resisting authority, right?
He's got a boner for black football players not standing for the national anthem.
Well, what sparked my interest was the resisting authority part. Here's a tweet from Mark a few years ago. This is when Trump got COVID. He says, if anything positive can come from him testing positive, it would be his followers reevaluating their opinions. If they will now accept a lockdown, social distancing, and mandatory mask wearing, we could crush the virus like we should have at the start. Fucking resisting authority, my ass. Put the mask on, Mark.
You know how much damage that social distancing lockdown shit did over here? When people came out, everyone's immune systems were shit, so everyone had these chronic killer flus that they had no resistance to. Kids were all suffering in school because they had such a long amount of time away from school that going back was really difficult.
And I think I was saying to someone the other day, it became like awkward to like shake hands with someone because you didn't know whether they were like, oh, fucking COVID, and so you'd be like, oh, what do I do?
Yeah.
Do I do the fucking stupid gay elbow thing? Do I fist bump? Like, what do you do?
Oh my God, the elbow thing. I forgot about that.
And so I just got into the habit of doing nothing. You just go, oh, hi, how you going?
We were lucky we didn't get it bad here.
Yeah, Victoria was really bad. Queensland was okay-ish.
I never became active until wanting to make sure that, first of all, I was devastated. I want to get rid of the Electoral College because Hillary beat him by 3 million votes, just a shy under 3 million.
Banging on about the Electoral College.
Him and Rosie, eh?
Yeah, because it all comes back down to Hillary fucking Clinton. I mean, if Hillary had beat him, we wouldn't be in this mess. Shut up, Mark. He just won the fucking popular vote. You say nothing about that. It's all the Electoral College's fault. But you'll never guess where he takes this.
And Gore beat W by 500,000, and it was making me crazy because I started reading about the Electoral College. And, oh my God, this is remnants of slave days when they were trying to, proportion the amount of votes with, how many slaves you owned, and oh, it was awful.
What?
Yeah, that's what I said too. But apparently, back in the day, like back in slave days...
The more slaves you owned, the more important your vote was.
Well, no, not specifically, but the states that had slaves... See, with the Electoral College, you get a certain amount of electors that vote in the Electoral College, and the amount of electors you get depends on how many people that live in that state.
Right.
And they had a rule back then that they could count 3/5 of the slave population. So, I mean, everyone agrees slavery bad, obviously. But, like, what he's saying here is, like, that was a shit system. I mean, if they didn't have that system, if they didn't count 3/5 of the slave population, then slaves wouldn't have been a factor at all in American elections.
Right.
I mean, what he's probably arguing for is one person, one vote. But even then, if they did that back then, slaves didn't get a vote anyway.
No, Massa got the vote.
Yeah, so he's kind of making a moot point.
But anyway, so that and Citizens United, I'd like to get rid of. But in any case, I started, as you said, you get most scorching hate tweets from the MAGA crowd. And when I was still on Twitter, I had to stop reading the responses. I wouldn't block anyone because then they could display Mark Hamill blocked you as a badge of honor. Right. But I muted like a mofo.
So he doesn't block anyone because that's the badge of honor.
Yeah.
He just mutes everyone like a mofo. I mean, fucking hell. Where's the fun in muting? I mean, where's the fun in blocking? Where's the fun in, like, censoring anything? Just argue with them or tell them to fuck off. Tell them they fucked their sister.
I somehow doubt some of the worst Twitter bullies are coming from MAGA.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the kickback would come from MAGA people, I guess, with Mark Hamill because he's a crazy motherfucker. But, like, often it's not bullying. It's just like, shut up, Mark, we won.
I would mute, I looked up one day and I said, oh my God, I've been muting people for 40 minutes.
He looked up one day and he thought, I've been muting people for 40 minutes. So let's just take stock of that. When you mute someone on Twitter, it doesn't like notify them. It's not like you get a notification saying Mark Hamill has muted you. It's basically just putting your hands up against your ears going, Yeah. And he was sitting there for 40 fucking minutes. Like, instead of just logging off and going to the park, taking your poor little fucking dog for a walk, he sits there and mutes people for 40 minutes. My God.
Go read some scripts or something. Get another acting job, Mark. Fuck.
So once I realized how it was eating into my own time, I said, the only thing to do is don't read the response. You just can't. You can't. And someone said to me, my daughter would say, Daddy, you shouldn't tweet politically so much because, you know, people get so angry.
Yeah, his daughter makes sense because you're tweeting like a rabid fucking dog. She's actually quite sensible. Listen, Dad, I mean, this is affecting you so much. You're sitting there for 40 minutes just hitting the same fucking button. We can all see you doing it. Stop it.
Yeah. You could spend your time a little bit better than fretting about MAGA bullies on the internet, Dad.
Yeah.
Just stop.
Yeah, you're a world famous actor. You're muting like Randy from Alabama, for fuck's sake. Stop it, Mark.
And so I wrote a tweet that I said, the people complaining about my Trump tweets have to understand. I love my country and I feel it's my patriotic duty to oppose this sociopathic, I forget the other word, whatever it was, with every fiber of my being.
Look at the other three. They're all just like, okay, let's just humor him. I mean, he's clearly fucking not well. He's too hung up on this. Even Gavin Newsom, the smarmy fuck, he's just like, yeah, just smile and nod.
Yeah, let's be real. He could never be a politician. He's not built to be a politician.
Oh, Mark Hamill. No
Mark
fucking
Hamill,
way.
yeah.
No way.
He would crack, like... a month into the job.
It'd be funny as.
It'd be pretty good, wouldn't it?
And that's the way I've been. I thought, I mean, I do feel it's an obligation. And who cares about your career? People say, oh, well, it's hurting your career because you have to appeal to the whole country, not just half the country or 45% or whatever the MAGA crowd is. But I said, in the grander scheme of things, who cares if I lose a part in a movie because I hate the orange atrocity? I do, and I want people to know that.
You see Gavin Newsom's like awkward laugh?
I know, one of them said, oh, Jesus.
Yeah, and you should care about your career, Mark. Like, you've done one fucking thing. Yeah, it was a pretty big thing, fair enough, but fucking hell.
There are plenty of celebrities and musicians who have their political opinions and they even let them be known. It's when you start attacking other people for their own beliefs, and that's what he does. He shames them.
Yeah, but most importantly, he just demonstrates how much it affects him, how much politics affects him.
Yeah, you can't let the internet see when something is affecting you that much, bro. Makes you a huge target.
First of all, I didn't think he could survive after inciting an insurrection like that. I said, oh my God, thank God he's out. But I'd been wrong before. I remember driving home from recording something and hearing the Hollywood Access grab him by the privates remark. I said, oh, I wrote in my date book, campaign over.
By the privates. Oh, God.
You can't say pussy, Mark. I mean,
You can't.
It's a podcast on YouTube, for fuck's sake.
Say it with me, Mark. Pussy.
And can we just acknowledge what he said then? When the grab him by the pussy thing happened, he was driving home and he heard it on Access Hollywood or whatever the fuck. And he got out his day book and he wrote election over, campaign over.
He probably pulled over. Like, pulled over his car to the side of the road to get his journal out.
Like, he's literally keeping notes on how Trump's campaign's going. I bet his therapist told him to do it. Whenever you're feeling a bad feeling, Mark, you stop the car. You do whatever you've got to do.
Yeah.
Pull over to the side of the road and you write it down. You let your feelings out, Mark.
October 23rd.
Yeah.
Trump said, grab him by the pussy. By the privates.
The
Election over.
No one could survive that. And yet he's been able to survive. We don't have to do the laundry list, but it's just shocking to me. It's very disillusioning because I said up until the end with Kamala, I said she's going to beat him by more than Joe did because I believe there were more honest, decent people with integrity than there are MAGAs.
No, there's fucking not. We've seen how the Democrats act. They're fucking horrible. I mean, not all of them, but like a fair percentage of them, much more than the MAGAs.
He just demonstrated what one of the main winning factors were that brought down the Democrats, that elitism attitude.
Yeah, we're better people.
Yeah.
We're much, much better people.
We're smarter than you. MAGA is dumb.
Yeah, so I guess he's not as bad as Rosie O'Donnell.
No, no one's as bad as Rosie O'Donnell. Fucking hell.
We should check in. You know who should have a cup of tea together? Is Rosie O'Donnell and the MAGA bitch.
Oh, can you imagine that?
They'd be great mates.
At the local Chinese restaurant.
Yeah, they can sit down to a bit of Szechuan beef.
Yeah.
And Rosie can introduce that bitch to all her squirrels.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm right that there are more, but they didn't all vote. And again, I'm still in a state of shock. And in fact, I had second thoughts about today and talking on the podcast because I said
689 views.
Ooh, that's brutal.
He's had second thoughts about this public appearance. 689 views. I just don't know how you can get that little views.
I know. And he was fretting about wasting 40 minutes of his life to mute people on Twitter.
Yeah. I mean, this podcast's got fucking Mark Hamill and Gavin Newsom. How does it have 689 views? Like I said, it must be just fucking massive in Canada. No, it must be massive on Spotify. I don't know.
you know, for I don't know how many weeks it's been, but I've stopped cable news. I don't watch cable news anymore.
Oh, of course he doesn't.
La 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 la.
If only there was a mute button on cable news.
I'm telling you, I've never watched the Food Network more in my life than now.
That was a pity laugh from Gavin Newsom. Okay, Mark, whatever. I liked you in Star Wars. Just fucking, yeah, cool. Good to have you on. I mean, I think you're going to be like a crowd pleaser. Our 689 people are going to fucking go wild because Mark Hamill's on. Anyway, that was that. I thought it was interesting. There's not much news going on at the moment, so I thought we'd talk about it. All right, thanks very much for watching. We'll catch you next time. Ta-ta. Bye-bye.
See ya.
Recession, session.